Good morning! Today at Oficina do Estudante, I'm going to talk about phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are a very important part of the English language because they are verb and preposition. They can have a very short verb and a preposition. Together, they change the meaning of the verb, the prepositions, okay? And they also have a non-phrasal meaning, a non-phrasal synonym. For example, turn up the volume, please. Increase the volume would be a non-phrasal meaning. But we don't speak English this way. We speak this way. Turn up the volume. He turned up at my party is another meaning of turn up. He appeared at my party. Appeared is the non-phrasal meaning of turn up. As you can see, turn up may have more than one meaning, and that happens to the phrasal verbs in general. They may have other meanings. Then we come when the verbs are intransitive. When you have intransitive verbs, you don't need anything after the verb. They have a meaning. So come in, I don't need anything after the verb. Or my car has broken down. I don't need to add anything to that verb. They just have the verb and the particle. When the verbs need an object, when they are not intransitive, when they need an object, then I can work with my verb. For example, can you look over my report? This look over is my verb, and my report is my object. What happens to this object? This object can separate my verb and my preposition. So, can you look my report over? And this is possible too. So I can say the sentence this way or this way. Sometimes we want to transform our object into a pronoun. When that happens, for example, in this example, he picked up my book for me. I want this object to be transformed into a pronoun. In this case, my book is it. So he picked my book up for me is another way. So he picked it up for me. The pronoun is going to break the verb in two, and it's going to be between the two parts, between the verb and the preposition. When I'm using the pronoun, any pronoun, I'm going to have this, he picked up it for me, as not possible. The only possibility for a pronoun is to break the verbs in two parts and stay between one part and the other part. This is very important, okay, to remember for pronouns. The other verbs that have a preposition are called the prepositional verbs, because they need a preposition to make sense. They cannot exist without the prepositions. So, for example, the cat jumped on the computer. And in this case, I cannot break this and put the computer in the middle of these two words. I have to say, the cat jumped on the computer, because the cat jumped the computer on doesn't make any sense. Another example is I agree with him. I cannot separate this and put the pronoun in the middle. It's not possible. And the last part is that when verbs, they have more than one preposition or more than one particle. Get is my verb, on, with. So I have here two prepositions. I get on with my sister, or get out of. You have to get out of here. There are many verbs that are prepositional verbs, not only the get, but there are many verbs there for you to study. This first class on phrasal verbs is with the objective to help the students of the 8th year, Ensino Fundamental, okay? And the only way that I can remember these verbs is not memorizing. If you get the list of verbs and start memorizing, you are going to make a mess. So the best way to do it is study the uses, the forms, okay? And the use is the context that you are going to have. The context of the verbs is what is going to make you remember the verbs, okay? I hope that I helped you with these verbs, and goodbye for today.